Imagine this. You're living your life quietly, far from royalty, far from power, and then suddenly, someone you never expected enters your world. Not just anyone, but the Prince of Dubai. And here's the twist. What he feels for you isn't just powerful, it's forbidden. It starts so subtly, you almost miss it. A glance that lingers too long, a conversation that feels heavier than words should carry. He's surrounded by luxury, by rules, by people who expect him to be untouchable. Yet when he looks at you, all of that fades. It's as if you're the one thing he can't control, the one risk he's willing to take. But here's where it gets dangerous. In his world, love is never simple. Every choice he makes is watched, judged, and whispered about. Every step closer to you could cost him everything, his crown, his legacy, even his freedom. And yet, he keeps choosing you. Imagine being in that position. One night, you're walking through the palace gardens, the air heavy with the scent of roses. You hear footsteps, and then his voice behind you. Soft, steady, trembling at the edges. Baby, what I feel for you is forbidden. The words hit you like lightning. You want to breathe, but your chest feels tight. Forbidden. The word carries both danger and desire. You ask yourself, what could be so forbidden? Is it because you're an outsider, someone who doesn't belong in the polished world of royalty? Or is it deeper, something hidden in palace walls that no one dares to speak of? Whatever the reason, the truth is undeniable. The closer you get to him, the closer you step into a storm. And yet, he doesn't back away. In public, he wears the mask of a prince. Graceful, calm, untouchable. But in private, when no eyes are watching, his hand finds yours. His voice cracks with honesty, and his heart pounds louder than the rules he's been forced to follow. Every whisper, every stolen glance, feels like a fire you both know could burn everything down. The more you're pulled into his world, the more you realize this isn't just about love, it's about power. There are people around him who will do anything to keep you apart. Advisors, family, rivals, all ready to remind him of his duty. To them, you're a weakness, a distraction, maybe even a threat. And the more they see his devotion to you, the more dangerous their silence becomes. But here's the secret they don't understand. What you share with him isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the one thing that makes him feel human in a world where he's expected to be more than a man. And even though it's forbidden, even though it could destroy both of you, neither of you can stop. So every meeting becomes a risk. Every kiss feels like a crime. Every moment you're together could be the last. And yet you can't walk away. Because in his eyes, you don't just see a prince. You see a man willing to defy the world for love. And that's more dangerous, more beautiful than any crown could ever be. The question is, how far can forbidden love go before the walls of the palace close in? How long before secrets spill and the world learns that the prince has given his heart to someone he was never meant to love? The palace shines like a dream during the day, marble floors glistening, golden chandeliers sparkling, every corner whispering of power and wealth. But once you're inside, you realize it isn't just a home, it's a cage. Every move is watched, every word is measured, and every secret feels heavier than the crown itself. You walk through the corridors, aware of the stares that follow you. Servants glance, then quickly look away. Advisors murmur to each other in corners, and the women of the court, their eyes cut sharper than glass. To them you're not love, you're a scandal waiting to explode. That night, he finds you on a balcony overlooking the endless desert. The moonlight wraps around him, making him look more like a man than a prince. He steps closer, his voice low, almost trembling. Do you know what it means, what it costs me to stand here with you? His words shake you because you can feel it, the weight of every tradition, every expectation pressing down on him, and yet here he is. But before you can answer, a voice calls from inside, a member of his family. The moment shatters like glass. He straightens, his face becoming cold, distant, the mask of royalty slipping back on. He leaves without a word, but not before his fingers brush against yours, so quickly it almost feels like a dream. The days that follow are even more dangerous. Whispers spread through the palace. Rumors of a forbidden love, of the prince breaking the rules that have kept his family in power for generations. You catch fragments of conversations. He's risking, lingering like poison in the air. Later, when you're alone with him again, you finally speak. Why me? Why risk everything for me? He looks at you, his eyes fierce, his voice breaking with something raw. Because you're the only thing I've ever chosen for myself. And in that moment, the world fades. For him, this isn't about duty or tradition. It's about freedom, about love, about claiming a piece of life that's truly his. But deep down, you know love alone may not be enough to protect you both. Because in a palace built on rules and power, forbidden love isn't just dangerous, it's deadly. Not be enough to protect you both. Because in a palace built on rules and power, forbidden love isn't just dangerous, it's deadly. One morning, you're summoned to the great hall. Advisors stand in a circle, their voices low but urgent. They don't speak directly to you, but you can hear every word. This cannot continue. The family's name is at risk. He must remember his duty. Each sentence slices into you, sharper than any blade. They don't see you as a person. They see you as a threat. That night he comes to you. His face is tight, his jaw clenched, his eyes stormy with conflict. They're watching us, he admits, his voice low. They're waiting for me to fail, waiting for you to fall. If we're not careful, his words trail off. But the fear in his eyes says more than he ever could. For the first time, you see not just a prince, but a man torn between love and the crushing weight of his crown. The next evening, the pressure grows. At a banquet, you sit at his side, the entire court watching. Every smile feels fake, every laugh hollow. Across the table, one of his relatives leans forward, eyes locked on you, with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. He says, "Some things are beautiful, but not meant to be kept." The hall fills with polite laughter, but beneath it lies a clear message. You are not welcome here. Later, when the banquet ends, you escape to the garden, the night air thick with roses and silence. But you're not alone. A figure steps out from the shadows, an older advisor, his expression grave. His voice is cold as stone. You should leave before it's too late. Forbidden love may thrill the heart, but it always ends in ruin. He turns and disappears into the darkness, leaving you trembling. When the prince finds you moments later, he sees the fear in your eyes. He takes your hands, pulling you close, his voice fierce but breaking. Don't listen to them. They don't know what I feel, what I'm willing to lose for you. You look at him, searching for the truth behind his words. And you see it, the fire in his eyes, the desperation in his touch. He means it, he's ready to fight. But deep down, a question gnaws at you. How long can he fight an entire kingdom alone? How long before love isn't enough to protect you from the storm building around the both of you? The days leading up to the turning point are the hardest. The palace grows colder toward you, not in temperature, but in spirit. Smiles vanish when you walk into a room, voices drop to whispers, and the servants who once greeted you warmly now avoid your eyes. It's as if the palace itself has turned against you, as though invisible hands are trying to push you out. The prince notices it too. You see it in the way shoulders tighten during meetings, the way his voice sharpens when his advisors speak too boldly. But he hides it well, wearing the mask of calm dignity the world expects of him. Only when you're alone do you see the cracks, the way his hands shake when he pours wine, the heaviness in his gaze when he says, "I can't lose you." Then the summons comes. You are called to a private gathering, not by him but by his family. The chamber is grand, its walls lined with gold, but the air is heavy with judgment. They don't waste time with pleasantries. An elder speaks first, her voice calm but sharp as steel. What you share with him is dangerous. You are not one of us, and you never will be. Another voice adds, "This ends now, before it destroys him." And you try to speak, to defend yourself, but every word dies in your throat. Their eyes pierce through you, cold and unforgiving. You realize quickly, this isn't a conversation, it's a warning. Eyes, the way she said, "Never." And for the first time, doubt creeps into your heart. Not about him, but about how long this love can survive under so much pressure. The tension comes to a breaking point at a royal celebration a few nights later. The palace is alive with music, laughter, and flashing lights. Guests from around the world fill the hall, their eyes fixed on the prince as he takes his place at the head of the table. You sit nearby, every movement of yours studied, every smile dissected. The weight of their judgment crushes you, but you hold your head high, refusing to let them see your fear. And then it happens. A member of the family rises to speak, glass in hand. His words drip with false sweetness, but every sentence is laced with poison. Our prince is strong, wise, and bound to his duty. But some forget that duty is to his people, not to forbidden desires. The room erupts in polite laughter, eyes flicking toward you like daggers. The prince's face hardens. He slams his glass down, the sharp sound cutting through the laughter. His voice is steady, but the fire in it shakes the hall. Enough. What I feel is mine to decide. Who I love is mine to choose. And I will not hide it any longer. Gasps ripple through the crowd. His declaration is not just a defense, it's defiance. And in that moment you see it clearly. He has chosen you openly in front of them all. But the silence that follows isn't victory, it's war. The family's eyes darken, the advisors whisper, and the walls of the palace seem to close in tighter. You know what this means. From this point on, nothing will be the same. That night, when you're finally alone, he holds you close. His voice is quiet but unshakable. They will come after us now. They'll try to break us apart, but I won't let them. Baby, I'd rather lose the crown than lose you. And though his words wrap around your heart like fire, you can't escape the truth pressing at the edges of your mind. Love may have just declared war against the throne. The days after his declaration feel like walking through fire. The palace no longer hides its hostility, it wears it openly. Servants avoid your presence entirely now, their silence louder than words. Advisors speak in riddles, their smiles sharp with menace. Even the air feels different, as though the very walls disapprove of your existence. And yet, he stands taller. The prince, once careful and restrained, now moves with defiance. Every time he takes your hand in public, every time his eyes linger on you in front of his family, it's not just affection, it's rebellion. But rebellion comes with consequences. One evening you overhear a conversation between two guards in the hall. They won't allow this much longer. One mutters, "The prince is blinded, but the council will act. They always do." The other nods, grimly. "For her sake, I hope she leaves before it's too late. Their words sink into your chest like stones. The palace responds swiftly. You notice it first in the invitations. Suddenly you are excluded from events you once attended by his side. Then in the rooms you're barred from, the whispers that grow bolder. And finally, in the confrontation you cannot avoid. You are summoned once again, but this time the tone is harsher. The chamber is filled with faces that look down on you as though you are an intruder in their kingdom. You are a distraction, one says coldly. The prince must focus on his people, his duty, his throne, not on you, another voice adds. You will destroy him if you stay. Is that what you want? Your voice trembles, but you manage to speak. I love him, that's all. The words are simple, but they carry the weight of your heart. The family isn't moved. The eldest leans forward, her eyes cold. Love does not survive here. Power does, remember that. When you tell him what happened, his anger is like a storm. They think they can scare you away. He says, pacing the room, his hands clench into fists. But they underestimate us. They underestimate me. He stops, turning to you, his voice breaking. I meant what I said. I will not lose you, no matter what it costs me. But you can't shake the fear growing inside you. That night, as you lie awake beside him, you wonder if love is strong enough to stand against an entire kingdom. The next morning brings your answer. You wake to find guards posted outside your chamber door, not to protect you, but to watch you, to contain you. And when you try to step into the corridor, one blocks your path. For your safety, he says flatly. But you know better. This isn't safety, it's a warning. Later, the prince bursts into your chamber, fury blazing in his eyes. They dare to confine you. He growls, pulling you close. This is the beginning, baby. They'll try everything to keep us apart. But I swear, I won't bend, I won't break. Not for them. His words are fire, his touch steady, but deep inside, you know the war has begun. Because in this palace, love is not just forbidden, it is dangerous. And every step you take together now feels like walking a razor's edge between passion and destruction. The storm inside the palace grows darker each day. The family no longer hides.